Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome to my Anti-Droll Deck reveal for May of 2023. This probably will survive a ban list, so this is a really good choice if you want to get into this deck. I think this deck is actually just insane. It's also like crazy through Droll. I know normally this deck like absolutely loses to Droll, but I think that I built a variant that's actually pretty resilient to it. I think this is a really cool list. First off, I want to get a shout out to my cousin. He let me stay with him as always, and he let me borrow a card, which I'll get to when we get there. Also, these dice are super cool. They're ritual gold dice, super awesome. You're not a true Drytron Dulce if you don't have ritual dice. Nah, I'm just joking, but let's get into the profile. So we have 3 alpha, 3 zeta, 3 gamma. Gamma is really good if you get drolled because obviously you can just make Fuko, so you definitely want to play 3 of it. And then 3 delta. I want to play just like the stacked full names because obviously it's just the best through Droll because you already have the names in here and you're not searching, which is pretty insane. 3 Nova, same thing. You just special the name from deck and it's cracked. So yeah, 2 copies of Fafnir. Kind of a similar purpose, I guess, but like I just always want to see the Nova. It's just like such a good card. It's the best name in your deck by far. And this is also really good. Remember, the Fafnir has a level reduce effect, also protects your rituals from getting negated, like your ritual spells. That doesn't really come up as often, but the level reduction does. I got Cypher and Gamma at one point during the during the tournament, and I just reduced the level to 4. It was pretty crazy. He couldn't synchro with it. He had to banish by the end of the turn. He couldn't make like excel or anything like that, so it was really good. 2 emergency. I guess a similar concept is like I don't want to draw. I don't want to search. So like I cut this from 3 to 2. It's just like it's the worst name, definitely, because like I know you can pick what name, but like it's just not very good. We're playing a Foolish Burial instead because it plays around Droll a little bit better. Even though Foolish is just a bad name in my opinion, it's not in hand, so it's not very good in my opinion. So I don't like it. But yeah, we're playing the 1 Medionis and the 1 Draconids. This got banished once against Kashtira, so maybe I should be playing 2, but realistically, I think it's fine. I would have lost the game anyways. There was no point in which I would have searched this. Draconids, I never summoned, but it's always really good in the list, especially through Droll, because it's an in-engine way that you can use it. Like, you can send it off Fafnir and ritual it, so it's really nice. 1 copy of Prep. This is because we play Thrust. I know this plays into Droll, but we play the Thrust, so I'd rather not side one of Prep. I'd rather just play it in main. So yeah, 3 copies of Benton, and then the 1 copy of Natasha. That's it for rituals. So this gives off the version that we're playing because we are on Vanity. So this is actually like super crazy. Against like Samurai, they don't really have an out in the deck to this. You just summon it and then they're like, oh, game 2. It's pretty crazy. So card's actually super good. It's also really good. I'm pretty sure their only out total in their deck is just Eccentric Archfiend. So if you summon this against them, they just like can't really play at all, which is so nice. We play 1 copy of Diviner. You could play 2. In fact, you could play the second one as Orange Light. This Orange Light never came up today. I searched it a bunch, but it just never came up. It wasn't very good, I don't think. I know it's like in theory really good to like play around Droll, but like I always just had something else to play around the Droll, so it was always just kind of dead. 3 copies of Dark Ruler. Obviously against Samurai, they just FTK you if they make the full board, so you just crack it and then kill them. Or not kill them, but set up a Zeus or, you know, your own board, Vanity Pass, you know. Zeus Vanity Pass, basically. Instant Fusion to counter Droll, obviously, because we have the Millenniumize. Usually, if they hand trap you while you have Millenniumize, just like probably don't trade the Millenniumize because they might have Gamma. Unless you have a way to make Fuko, then it doesn't really matter. But a lot of times they try and bait this out and go like activate like a Veiler or something. And if you chain this, then they'll chain Gamma or something, and then they can like Droll you after. So like be aware of that if they activate a hand trap while you have this up, that they're probably trying to bait you with a Gamma or Ogre. 1 call by, really good. Obviously, better now than ever. 3 copies of Designator. Because this is a super controversial pick, but this card's actually just like super insane. Every time I drew this card, I just like knew I was playing through everything, or not through everything, but like I just knew like my combo was going through. It was always so good. We have the one copy, or not two copies, sorry, two copies of Droll. Card's actually insane. I should have played three, 100%. Just because, like, not only is it a really good hand trap, it is a really good normal summon. And I know this is a really, like, stupid, but there's a lot of times where you'll draw, like, double names. Like, you'll draw, like, double Delta or something like that. And you just can't play. Like, you literally just can't play. And then you have this Droll, and then you normal the Droll, and you make Fafnir, and then you can, like, Zeus them, and you can do, like, a bunch of stuff that you normally wouldn't be able to do. So actually Droll being level 1 is just, like, super good. It came up probably, like, once a match, maybe not that often, but, like, it felt like it came up, like, probably, like, 5 times today. It was just super funny. Normal summoning Droll. We also played one copy of Ash and one copy of Imperm. These didn't come up, but the idea with the Imperm is that if they draw Imperm for turn, or they just save it for the Vanity, you can cross out Imperm during their turn. Or if you draw a double cross out, you could, like, cross out the Droll on your turn, and then on their turn you can cross out the Imperm. Which is actually, like, super good. It's a really funny idea. I think that it's really good. It's also really good because the cross out doubles as a protection through Dark Ruler. You can actually just cross out Dark Ruler, and that's actually really good. There was actually one time the funniest cross out target I had all day was actually Diviner. I played against Dogmatica, and he normaled Diviner, and I crossed out Diviner. It was pretty funny. So yeah, that was the funniest target all day, but cross out is actually, like, super good. So this card is, like, 100% I recommend playing, especially in this version of the build. That's 42 cards in the main. We'll go into the extra deck. We're on one copy of Millenniumize. Obviously, card's insane. Unfortunately, that's it for fusions. I just didn't play Entis. Originally, I couldn't fit the Entis in because I had Zeus, and then I gave the Zeus to my cousin because he couldn't find it in time for his deck. So I just gave him one of my Zeuses and then changed my list. I should have put Entis in, but I didn't have it because I didn't bring it with me. So yeah, you'll see what I should have played over it. But yeah, Arclight, just a one of target for the Diviner. It's a one of Diviner, so I figured it would be fine, but it turned out to not be okay. I should have played the Entis. 2 Fafnir, card's crazy. Fugo, also card's crazy. Everyone was reading this card and they were like, oh, that's unaffected. And yeah, I would always just survive a turn. Every time this summoned, I always got another turn, so it was always crazy. Zeus, I just played one of because obviously my cousin borrowed the other one. Realistically, I think it's okay to play 2. I just don't really respect Kestir anymore. I won all my Kestir matches. Like, it was super easy. Most of them, I mean, I think one of them was even 2-0. Like, I just, like, 2-0'd him in, like, 10 minutes. It was crazy. So, yeah, I absolutely just did not respect Kashtira, and it didn't matter. I just totally just destroyed him. I always just, like, had a cross out or, like, you know, I just had everything for it. It was really good. Beatrice, you could cut this if you really wanted, but it did come up today just one time. I don't think it really mattered when it came up, but I mean, it did come up. One copy of Enema. This actually has a really cool application in this deck because it's actually the same type and attribute as Restrict, which means that when you draw Instant Fusion, you can actually just make Mirage Light pretty easily when you're done with your combo. Mirage Light's actually really good because it protects your Vanity from Imperm. So when your opponent draws Imperm for turn or something like that, came up once where they drew the Imperm, and they Imperm my Vanity, and I had the Mirage for it, which was really nice. So I definitely would play this again. This card's really good. 1 IP. Sometimes you can make the Mirage IP and Vanity in certain, like, combos if you have enough extenders, and it's really good because then this can turn into a couple of our other cards. We played Cerberus. This was actually the card. Should have been Entis, 100%. It came up one time, but the only reason it did come up is because I didn't have Diviner, because my opponent had Zeus on their board with 4 mats, and I was going to go Alpha Tribute, Ben 10, and then I was going to search Diviner, and then normal and send Entis, but then I was like, oh, I don't have that, so I had to make Cerberus to destroy the Zeus. So 100% this should just be Entis. Phoenix, card's just crazy. Obviously, it didn't really come up for the effect today, but it's really good because it has high stats, which is really good. Comes up sometimes. Unicorn, obviously good. I don't think this actually came up today at all, but it's good to make your access code pretty huge. So I think in the future, I think it's pretty possible that I'll just cut the Unicorn and the access for a Boral Sword so that I can have more space in the extra deck. maybe that's where you fit in your last Zeus if you really want. I don't play Dynamond just because it just doesn't really matter in this list. It doesn't come up, to be honest, but you can fit in a lot of things. One Goddess was my last card. I wanted to have a out to the Pirelli or just anything that's just unaffected, and I figured what better way than just having it in the extra deck. Like I just don't have to like hard draw it. I'll always have the out. So it was crazy. It came up once, but not to out anything that was unaffected. It came up to outs, or not out, but like IP into this on their turn. And then I like negated like a super heavy Scarecrow, which is actually pretty crazy because on summon it negates everything, which is super nice. For the side deck, we're on 3 Lava Golem, super good. 2 Seer modes. My cashier, I said this against cashier and I drew it. It was crazy, but then he had a pointer. He ripped it, and I was like, well, all right, game 3. So yeah, probably should just be Volcanic Queen, but yeah, that's what I played for now. I thought it was just going to have a lot more impact, so I just decided to play it. But I probably should have just played Volcanic Queen, especially because they don't conflict with the Lava Golem. But yeah. 3 copies of Thrust and the 1 copy of Featherstorm. So against Samurai, you don't really need this or these going first because sometimes like you keep these in going first because they're cross out targets, just like 1 of each. But against Samurai, they don't play Spell and Traps, so you just take out these 4 for those 4. It came up once. It was crazy. I made this. I made Fuko. I set this and passed, and then it just like cooked him. It was crazy. So yeah, that was really good. 2 copies of Talents. Not really a whole lot to say about this. You just take out the 2 Dark Rulers for it in basically any other matchup, so you always have a cross-out target. Yeah, not really a whole lot to say. Realistically, I should probably just pick one or the other because that's 6 side deck slots for like 2 matchups. I should probably just play like just these or just these. I don't know. So pick your poison with that one, I guess. For back row removal, we're on the 1 copy of Duster because it's searchable with Thrust. It was pretty insane. 1 copy of whatever this guy's name is. I don't play this guy ever. I saw that he was seeing play. He's like an in-engine way to like out back row, and he floats, which is really cool. Never sided him once. In fact, I never sided either of these cards once. I didn't play like any deck where like I felt like I needed them. So I just like never did. In theory, they're good. I'll probably still keep them in, but they just didn't come up today. We're siding the 3rd Droll because card's cracked. You just sided against Samurai and then just like hope you draw it basically. And then the last card is a copy of Lancia, which you side against Kashtira, or just like any banish deck. Search it and then just like, so activate it and then they have to pass really. But that's really it for the list. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Like I said, you should definitely be playing Entis over this, and probably cut these for Boral Sword, and then you can probably fit in the other Zeus if you want, or I did miss Downerd actually too, so you could probably play Downerd if you really want as well. Anyways, that's going to do it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you around, and I think I actually am going to be streaming today, probably, or maybe tomorrow. Depending on when this video comes up. Yeah. Anyways, see you later. Bye.